Good morning. Talk 97.3FM, 104.1FM, 990 AM, WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for the Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the Leader Man's sick sidekick. Good morning.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link. If you're on a mobile device, your YouTube app will get you there. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man, all one word, into your search, so it appears at the top. Same holds true for your streamer or iTunes or TuneIn app. If you just want our audio, put WEEB into the search to get us to the top. Or you can always get our crystal clear stream anytime, 24/7, in the upper right-hand corner of every web page where it says Listen Live. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills, well, it'll be the last nice day. Friday's going to be a washout before the rain pushes out of here on Saturday. Partly cloudy today, 59 for a high. Then tonight, mostly cloudy, scattered showers starting very late, be about daybreak, actually. Low of 45. Friday, pretty much 100% chance of getting rain as the front comes through. High of 51, wet all-day rain type thing. Late in the day, it'll start pushing out of here, and it'll be done. We'll go cloudy tomorrow night, a low of 46, and then mostly cloudy with drizzle tomorrow, Saturday, with a high of 61. Hand me that mic over there. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are... let me see. I'm doing two things at once. Winds are calm. Visibility 7 statute miles. Pressure is 3024. Dew point 35. Humidity max at 100%. It's clear and 35 degrees here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Let me get the coach on the line because I forgot we got a ball game tonight. Doggone it. All right, let me see if I can get him on there. Of course, it's got to be scratchy line. Hey, Coach, I got you live already, so...
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Let's see. There we go. Of course, we're talking to Coach Chris Mesker, head football coach at Pinecrest High School. But you had a little nice award yesterday afternoon from U.S. Cellular. You want to talk about that?
Well, it says MVC, but it's really stands for Most Valuable Community, stands for Most Valuable School, stands for Most Valuable Players. But it was a real blessing and honor to be recognized. But it's all about our community. It's all about those thousands of young men starting in 2007 at WEEB in the blueprint and the process. So it was awesome, but sometimes when you're the leader, you get way too much credit, and that was the case yesterday.
Well, of course, you're in the running there for the big $50K that you might get for the school in November when they get in the final tally. So we wish you the best of luck on that.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. We just need people to vote. Vote every day, and I almost feel bad, saying that, but they need to know it's going to the school, and it's going to fill a lot of needs. So by voting every day, they're voting for Pinecrest High School, more importantly, our community.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see how that turns out. I got a feeling, I think I know who the winner might be, because there's a lot of enthusiasm there and a lot of voting going on.
Yeah, are you voting?
Yeah, of course I am.
Thank you. You're the man. I knew you would, brother.
All right, well, let's talk about last week first. Scotland County, you played them, and finally got that little onus off your back. You came away with a solid, decisive victory.
Well, the kids just played with a lot of passion, a lot of discipline, and just really our big message is what's our culture? Our culture is about love, effort, focus, and trust, and it's about just doing the little things. And if we can just really focus on that, we're going to have an opportunity to be successful in whatever we do.
Well, Scotland had a workhorse there in their backfield. What was his name again?
Smiley, Shaquem McQueen.
Yeah.
Division I.
Yeah,
for Division I. There had some guys out there, but our kids just stayed the course.
Yeah, they seemed to be able to contain him. In fact, Scotland looked nothing like the year before. I mean, they just were sloppy, and you were all able to capitalize on turnovers and everything else. You all came ready to play.
Well, it was really a great night to be a Patriot, capacity crowd, and the kids did a great job. But they know that starting Saturday morning, it's all about Jack Britt, a storied program that's been in 7 state championships the past 18 years, and, still in contention for a conference title. So for us, it's all about them.
I think the last time we played them, Richard Bailey was still coach over there, but they're back in the conference now, so we're going to play them on a regular basis. Actually, we played them last year here when Richard Bailey was not coach. But anyway, we go over there tonight because of the weather situation, and I think that was a smart move. And tonight you got what kind of team are we going to face?
We're going to face probably the largest team we faced physically. Very big front, defensive front, as good as any we faced. We're going to face a defense that's as stingy as any in the state statistically. So the big thing for us on offense is to, control, have mental focus, and just capitalize when we can. And then, offensively, they've got weapons everywhere. It's just a matter of them exploding, which we hope does not happen tonight.
And what about our side? Any injuries to report? Are we ready to go?
Well, we're dinged up. We're going to have some kids who won't be out there, but it's just the next man up here.
Okay. All right. Well, Coach, anything else you want to say I haven't asked this morning?
Well, we just hope that people can make the way over. It's Thursday night ESPN football. We know App State was supposed to be on ESPN, but Kirk Herbstreit and Lee Corso and Desmond decided to come over to Jack Britt. We're excited about them being there as well as you all being there.
All right. Well, we're going to be there in the press box, and we look forward to a great game tonight.
Thank you, sir. Have a blessed day.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, it is, that's tonight. Pregame will be at 6:30 and kickoff at 7 o'clock. So 6:30 on the pregame and 7 o'clock on the kickoff. And it'll be Pinecrest and Jack Britt, and you'll hear it right here on your flagship station for 50 years. Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Okay, it is 7:40 now. Let's move into our sound bites this morning. See what the world is going to toy with us about today. And woke up this morning, from that oral surgery I had Tuesday, I do have a little swelling now right there. You see it?
Nah, maybe a little bit. Not much.
Right down here.
Bound to happen, but not noticeable.
I was hoping to escape at all. Yesterday it hadn't swollen, and this morning it's a little swollen.
Well, when we consider that we cut your jaw open and mess with the bone in there and everything else, your body's going to have some recovery from that trauma.
But I'm tough. I shouldn't be getting these bruises.
Well, I know.
Well, they're having their fun in the world. Oh, by the way, that person that won the, what was it, $2.5 billion and gets to settle for $1.5 billion.
Travesty.
Yeah. Well, we know what's happened to them and what they're going to do now with all that money. At least Kimmel does.
The Mega Millions jackpot was $1.5 billion. A single winning ticket was sold in South Carolina, where the winner is planning on buying South Carolina. So
there you go. It's going to be owned by somebody. Everybody there is selling out. Authorities intercepted several bombs yesterday that were mailed to prominent Democrats, including the Clintons and the Obamas. One also showed up at CNN offices in New York, and they had to evacuate in the middle of live coverage about the other bombs. The news anchors, Poppy Harlow and Jim, Sasuto, I guess that's right. I don't watch CNN. Were on the air when it happened, and they talked about it afterwards while they were still outside.
The FBI is saying that they were rudimentary but functional. That means they were explosive devices. And to have projectiles, that sounds like a fire alarm here. We'll keep you posted on that. But to have projectiles, that is a feature you will often see in bombs that terrorists use in Afghanistan, elsewhere. ISIS has used that kind of bomb before.
We're going to jump in. There's a fire alarm here.
You might have heard it in the background. We're going to find out what the latest is
we'll
here
be right back.
at CNN. We're going to be right back.
We are outside safely. All of our CNN colleagues that we know of are outside right now. Everyone is safe. We were told suspicious package at CNN. Evacuate immediately. The lights shut off. We walked down 6 flights of stairs. We're out here. They're now moving us, Jim and I, and everyone here from CNN, all the way down the block towards 9th Avenue, very far away.
All Well, have you ever been...
You see where some of those, certainly the one at CNN, proved to be inert.
Yeah, they found one today, but they're in New York early this morning, that there was in an office building and nobody was there at the time, but they found one and got it contained and taken away.
Yeah, but the one at CNN didn't have any explosives in it. Didn't have any way of it's a fake. It's a hoax.
Yeah. Well, wasn't a hoax to them. That's the other side of terrorism, is that is to put the community on edge and in fear of going about their regular lives.
No, absolutely. Still a crime.
Yeah. Well, Adam Sandler jokes about how saying hi to someone's baby can turn awkward, especially if the baby says more than hi. This is from his new Netflix special called Fresh.
You ever walking down the street and you say hi to a baby? And the baby goes, oh, yeah, boy. And you go, yeah, that's great. And the mother goes, he can say hi back. And you go, oh, yeah. And the kid goes, oh, yeah. And you go, there it is. And the mother goes, no, he really can say it. And the kid goes, oh, yeah. And you go, hey, that was great. And the mother goes, no, he really can say it. And the kid goes, oh, yeah. And you go, there it is. That was it, right? And the mother's like, no, say it. Say hi. And the kid's like, oh, yeah. And then the mother's like, what the say it? You said it earlier. And the kid's like, oh, yeah. Hi, yeah, what are you doing? And you're like, hey, that was a full sentence. That's better than hi. And the mother's like, what the? So mad at you, baby. And then she, hands you the baby, and she's like, I gotta walk this off. It's very discouraging for me. He said it earlier. And you're holding the baby, you're like, say it. Go ahead and say it. Say hi. Come on, you really upset your mother. And the kid's looking at you. And you're like, come on, get it out. It's gonna make her feel better. And the kid, hey, oh, yeah. And you're like, you can do it. Come on, and the kid's like, help me. She won't let me get vaccinated. Come on, there's no proof if that's good or bad yet. I've been getting sick a lot.
Well, you see, Matt kind of laughed through the whole thing because he's had kids, so evidently that related to memories that he has.
Yeah, it does.
I don't have kids, and I found it quite boring. So that's the difference between having kids and not having kids.
Yeah, it was probably funnier if you'd been there and been imbibing in alcohol, but nonetheless.
Yeah, the comedy clubs are always better in person because you go in and you have a drink or two, and it makes the guy on stage a little better.
Yeah.
Unless you just don't connect with him. And so I've been to some that I didn't. And I've had others that, laugh my butt off on,
Yeah.
Murray Langston, he was the guy that did the unknown comic on the Gong Show. Remember that?
Yeah. Guy that wore the paper bag with the 2 holes in it.
Yeah. And every week or for a while there, he'd come out with a new routine. And it was always funnier than the last one. And so he was at Vegas when I was out there on a sidebar. He wasn't a maiden stage gag. He was a sidebar. It was just a 2-drink minimum admission. And you sit down and they come ask you what your 2 drinks are and bring them to you. So they get change up front. And he comes out and he was hilarious from start to finish. But he didn't wear the paper bag just except at the beginning of the show.
Part of the shtick.
Huh?
It was part of the shtick, so he had to do it.
Yeah, I mean, he comes out and he's looking at a lady in the audience and says, I got a story that's going to knock your breast off. I got to clean it up. And he says, oh, you've already heard it.
Oh. That's mean.
Yeah, that was just one of the things. But he was funny. Took my parents with me on that one. And they didn't want to laugh, because it was beneath them, but they couldn't help it. It's one of those smothered laughs. You could see them laughing underneath, but They were trying to keep it off their face.
Yeah.
I guess they were afraid he'd pick on them. Let's see. Okay, Gramps is here. Gramps hates Halloween. Here's Gramps' take on Halloween.
I just want to tell everyone that I hate Halloween! Stupid day! Scaring people! Well, boo to you, you bunch of spoiled rich idiots! Coming to my door wanting a bunch of candy in your stupid costumes! Back in my day, your mom cut a couple holes in an old bed sheet, threw it over your head, and you went as a ghost! And it was scary! You took a pillowcase and went door to door, and you're lucky if you got a piece of candy! Most times you got an apple or a rock, and you liked it! Those were the days! Nowadays, these stupid kids don't want little pieces of candy. They want a whole candy bar. Well, who do I look like, Willy Wonka? I'm not made of money. And guess what? This year you're getting a rock. Stupid kids.
Well, you can now save up to 50%. That's right, up to 50% on items banned by the Consumer Product and Safety Commission. Aren't you lucky?
Now you can save up to 50% on items banned by the Consumer Product and Safety Commission at DangerousHalloweenDecorations.com. This Halloween, show your spirit with Little Ball of Fire porch pumpkins. These babies put off 4.5-foot flames inches away from trick-or-treaters, allowing them to enjoy the majesty of Halloween. And what would your Halloween party be without Uncle Fester's faulty orange lights? The blinking and sparking will thrill your guests. And best of all, if one goes out, the rest continue to explode. And every spooky home needs a mega fogger. Unlike regular foggers, Mega Fogger puts off real smoke, similar to car exhaust. And last but not least, dress up your yard with Dangerous Halloween Decorations' own Bag of Bats. Unlike most Halloween bats, these are real, many carrying bubonic plague. So what are you waiting for? Log on now and save at DangerousHalloweenDecorations.com. Not responsible for burns, coughing, or severe nervous system damage.
Well, a new survey says that the top things we miss if we travel back in time, what would you miss?
Instant information, I think.
Like the internet, you mean?
Yeah. You say, hey, what year did the such and such invented? And bada bing, bada boom, there it is.
I think the number one thing I'd miss is air conditioning. I don't know how, we didn't have it when I was a kid. It wasn't commonplace like it, I mean, it had been invented, but it wasn't common.
Yeah.
You walked into stores and the windows were open. Big ceiling fan was running.
Yeah.
There was always one running high at the front door to keep the flies from getting in.
Yep. You missed the preface for this. Back in my day.
Wasn't that far long ago. New survey says, well, here's the report on the things we'd miss.
Hey, kid, what'd you do, jump ship? What? Well, what's with the life preserver?
Just want to use the phone.
Yeah, it's in the bag.
You know where 1640 Riverside...
Are you gonna order something, kid?
Yeah. Give me a tab.
Tab? I can't give you a tab unless you order something.
Right, give me a Pepsi free.
You want a Pepsi, pal? You're gonna pay for it.
That was from Back to the Future, of
Back
course.
to the Future.
The top 10 things are that we would miss the most, according to the survey. At number 10, it was Wi-Fi. I remember the day not long ago, I didn't know what Wi-Fi was.
Yeah.
You know, they'd be talking about hotspots and Wi-Fi and go, what are they talking about?
Yeah. I saw...
You hook your cord into your computer and you dial AOL.
Yeah, a few years back, they did a survey of women asking what is a hotspot, and they all said any place Matt Horsley is.
Yeah, right. Number 9 was your laptop. Number 8, supermarkets. Is there a difference between a supermarket and a grocery store?
I think technically, but I think we use them interchangeably.
Being able to travel by plane, it used to be that was very expensive. And then they did a thing called government deregulation. Competition entered. Price came down. Because it used to be just to go, in today's dollars, it would probably cost you $2,000 to go anywhere. Just about.
Yeah, it was a lot more expensive. I mean, you could get good deals here and there, but...
Had a lot more room.
You did. And food.
Number 6 are cars. This is what we would miss if we went back in time.
I guess they have to delineate how far back in time we're going.
The early 1900s.
Oh. Well, there were cars then.
Not on a regular basis. There weren't very many. Your smartphone, I kind of expected that one to be a little higher on this list. Televisions. Central heating and air conditioning made 3rd. It'd be number 1 on mine. The internet is number 2. And number 1, toilets that flush.
They had flushing toilets in the 1900s.
The toilets we use today have been around since the early 1900s, so as long as you stuck with the 20th century, you'd be okay.
In fact,
That's what Mr. Crapper, that was the guy's name that invented the toilet. His name was Crapper.
I know somebody who was born in the 1900s. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I was born in the 1900s.
See?
Bet you were too.
Yeah, so were my kids. It was only about 19 years ago.
British police posted a photo of a robbery suspect who looks just like David Swimmer from Friends. After it went viral, Swimmer posted a funny video recreating their surveillance shot. Check out this scene from Friends where Ross teaches Chandler what you can and can't steal from a hotel room.
Also, got these great salt and pepper shakers from the restaurant.
Oh, that's not cool.
Dude, none of this is cool.
Look, Chandler, you have to find the line between stealing and taking what the hotel owes you. For example, a hairdryer, no. But shampoos and conditioners, oh, yes. Now, the salt shaker is off limits, but the salt... I wish I'd thought this through.
I think I get what you mean, though. Like, the lamp is the hotel's, but the bulbs... Oh, you already got that?
Not my first time in a hotel, my friend.
Okay, how about this?
No, you can't take the remote control.
Yes, but the batteries...
There you go. A good news file this morning, a 5-year-old girl with autism named Layla Lester saw a bride named Olivia Spark taking her wedding photos to a park in New York this month and thought she was Cinderella. So Olivia played along and the photos of it went viral. Now random people have donated over $10,000 online to send Linda to Disney World. Here's Linda's mom and Olivia talking about how it all happened.
She just goes running over, arms wide open, Cinderella, Cinderella. When she sees a princess, she's going to love them because she loves princesses.
I was flattered. I was, like, in tears that she thought I was a princess, and it just made my day absolutely more amazing than what it already was.
She is the epitome of what a real-life princess would be. She's kind, and she's sweet, and she went out of her way.
Okay, so it turned out good for her. How much time we got? Oh, Megyn Kelly, they say her show's probably destined to be canceled next week. They were looking a way to get rid of the $20 million albatross that just never did pan out. She started yesterday's show by apologizing again.
Welcome to the show. I'm Megyn Kelly, and I want to begin with 2 words. I'm sorry. I was wrong, and I am sorry. One of the great parts of sitting in this chair each day is getting to discuss different points of view. Sometimes I talk and sometimes I listen. And yesterday I learned. I learned that given the history of blackface being used in awful ways by racists in this country, it is not okay for that to be part of any costume, Halloween or otherwise. I have never been a PC kind of person. But I do understand the value in being sensitive to our history, particularly on race and ethnicity. This past year has been so painful for many people of color. The country feels so divided, and I have no wish to add to that pain and offense.
All right, but Al Rooker was having none of this. You know, she's damaged goods from Fox. Here's Al's response.
The fact is, while she apologized to the staff, she owes a bigger apology to folks of color around the country, because this is a history going back to the 1830s. Minstrel shows to demean and denigrate a race wasn't right. I'm old enough to have lived through Amos and Andy, where you had white people in blackface playing two black characters, with just magnifying the worst stereotypes about black people. And that's what the big problem is.
Okay.
She's a fake image. She was going after somebody in 2016 for being in blackface.
All right, right now here around the Sand Hills, we got 35 degrees on our way for a high today at 59. Your full forecast is coming up next. We'll check in with all your latest news and sports, too. It's 8 o'clock. Have yourself a great morning, everybody. We'll be right back.
We're watching an area of low pressure that's moving through the lower Mississippi Valley today. It's remnant rainfall with Willa. It gets here for the day Friday. It's going to be quite wet. It's going to be quite chilly. Today, though, we see increasing clouds, becoming mostly cloudy this afternoon. The high in the mid-50s to low 60s. Tonight is mostly cloudy, chilly with the low in the upper 30s to mid-40s. Tomorrow is cloudy. Rain will develop in the morning, but be more with us during the afternoon and evening. The high in the upper 40s to low 50s. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Another suspicious package was turned up, this one in New York City, the Tribeca neighborhood of Lower Manhattan.
This latest one, discovered early this morning, was addressed to actor Robert De Niro at a building in Lower Manhattan that houses a restaurant owned by De Niro. At June's Tony Awards, De Niro went off script and openly criticized the president. Mr. Trump responded with a tweet calling him a very low IQ individual. This now makes 9 devices sent to prominent Democrats and to CNN. The FBI released a statement this morning saying the investigation is of the highest priority and asking anyone with information to contact the agency.
Correspondent Wally Hine says the package found this morning has been transported to an NYPD facility in the Bronx for examination and disposal. And in light of these episodes, President Trump calling on all sides to tone down the political rhetoric. He says the media has a role to play, too.
The president was unusually subdued during a rally in Wisconsin and wanted you to know it.
Do you see how nice I'm behaving tonight? This is like, have you ever seen this?
He blasted political violence as un-American and called for all sides to come together in peace and harmony, saying the media has a role.
To set a civil tone and to stop the endless hostility and constant negative and oftentimes false attacks and stories. Have to do it.
Sagar Meghani, Washington.
Saudi Arabia says the country's powerful crown prince has attended the first meeting of a committee aimed at restructuring the kingdom's intelligence services in the aftermath of the killing of Jamal Khashoggi. After losing more than 600 points yesterday, Dow could be poised for a rebound this morning. Dow futures are higher, along with NASDAQ and S&P futures. Dow futures up 96 points, NASDAQ futures better by 85, and S&P futures up 19 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
My story begins with debt, a lot of debt, credit card debt, and I heard a commercial for Trinity. I gave them a call.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
When I first called, I was a little embarrassed and kind of ashamed, and I looked at the numbers, and I saw how quickly that astronomical debt that was in my life would go away.
Trinity Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
What I would tell other people, please pick up the phone and call Trinity. Just let them put together a program and see how affordable and easy it is to pay off your debt.
Call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
A former Malaysian prime minister has appeared in court pleading not guilty to corruption charges involving more than $1.5 billion in public money.
Malaysian investigators are steadily working their way through the many layers of the 1MDB financial scandal, now filing a third set of charges against former Prime Minister Najib Razak. Mr. Najib appeared at court in Kuala Lumpur with the former Secretary-General of the Treasury, who was also chairman of 1MDB, to hear 6 charges of criminal breach of trust relating to around $1.5 billion of government funds, which were allegedly diverted to pay off some of 1MDB's debts.
That's the BBC's Jonathan Head. Yemeni officials say a Saudi-led coalition airstrike hit a fruit and vegetable market, killing 19 civilians, children among them. The strike comes amid mounting fears of a fresh coalition assault. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Britain's Information Commissioner Office hitting Facebook with a maximum possible fine, $644,000 for its behavior in the Cambridge Analytica scandal.
The ICO's investigation found that between 2007 to 2014, Facebook processed the personal information of users unfairly by giving app developers access to their information without informed consent. The fine was a maximum allowed under the law at the time the breach occurred. Had the scandal taken place after the new EU data protection rules went into effect, the amount would have been far higher. Sarah Shackley, London.
David Price pitched 6 innings of 3-hit ball, and Major League RBI leader J.D. Martinez broke a 5th-inning tie in another 2-out rally, leading the Boston Red Sox to a 4-2 victory over the Los Angeles Dodgers for a 2-0 lead in the World Series. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Serving more people, more places, 24/7. If your AC breaks down, we'll restore your indoor heaven. Installation or repair, one call will be there. It's your family, don't delay. Comfort's just a call away. We're Comfort Services. Comfort Services.
You've heard the comment, save your energy. Well, Comfort Services can save your energy bill and make your home more comfortable. Specializing in installation, HVAC, and comprehensive air quality services. Locally owned since 2003, Comfort Services is nationally certified and a Carrier Energy Expert dealer with highly qualified technicians. Go to ComfortServicesInc.com or call 910-695-2665 on Highway 5 next to Habitat in Aberdeen. 910-695-2665.
Comfort's just a call away. Comfort Services.
Everyone in America has a congressman, but here in North Carolina, we have a leader, Richard Hudson. When the liberals came for our gun rights, Richard Hudson stood up. He led the fight on concealed carry, defended gun owners on 60 Minutes. Listen.
These are law-abiding citizens. These are not the problem.
No wonder Richard Hudson has been endorsed by the NRA and has earned their highest rating. And it doesn't stop there. Richard Hudson fights for our veterans and military families. Hudson helped pass the law to fire the VA bureaucrats directly responsible for delayed and poor care at the VA. And when the men and women in our special forces were being denied combat pay, despite serving in the most dangerous parts of the world, Richard Hudson went to work, wrote and passed the bill giving them and their families the pay they deserve. Everyone has a congressman, but in Richard Hudson, North Carolina has a leader.
I'm Richard Hudson, and I approve this message.
It's 1946, and Pinehurst Surgical is just getting started doing orthopedic surgery in the Sand Hills area. Pinehurst Surgical was ahead of its time then and still is, leading the way with innovative orthopedic services at the Sports, Spine, and Joint Center. But it's not about Pinehurst Surgical. It's about you and the care you receive. Go to pinehurstsurgical.com/orthopedics or call 910-295-0259. 910-295-0259.
If the menu is getting a little stale at your favorite restaurant, the Hickory Tavern has a fresh summer solution starting with our newest appetizer, fried Florida grouper fingers, tender grouper fillets served up with chili lime crema and lemon, perfectly paired with a Hickory build-your-own salad. And now the Hickory has tender fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs. Summer means seafood, and the Hickory has you covered with shrimp, oysters, and crab legs. The Hickory Tavern. Come for the game, stay for the summer food.
Tom McInnes, Senate District 25. The son of a farmer and a public school teacher, Tom McInnes learned early the value of a dollar, a good education, and hard work. A lifelong North Carolinian, Tom McInnes has worked tirelessly to create jobs in our community and shares in our Sandhills values. Tom helped raise teacher pay to an average of $50,000 and fought against opioid addiction. As Senate Transportation Chair, Tom McInnes knows what it takes to help our area prosper. Tom McInnes, Senate District 25. Paid for by Main Street Merchants for a Better North Carolina.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. I was getting a haircut.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. Another explosive device similar to one sent to top Democrats, including Hillary Clinton and former President Obama, has been discovered this morning in Tribeca at a building owned by Democratic supporter and actor Robert De Niro. WCBS 880 reporter Marla Diamond.
It was found at about 4:45 in Robert De Niro's studios in Tribeca. This is in a building over the Tribeca Grill, which he has part ownership of, found by workers there. De Niro not there at the time, and of course the restaurant was closed.
CBS News senior national security analyst Fran Townsend says it's likely more packages will be discovered.
There's enhanced screening at the U.S. Postal Service that started yesterday. They do expect you may see additional packages today. They think all of these packages were mailed between the 16th and 18th of October, and so it's likely if once we get through today, they should have identified everything.
Police in Charlotte say an armed white man confronted a black Republican volunteer at a polling place and has been arrested. Volunteer Derek Partee says 3 white people angrily approached him Wednesday at a poll in Charlotte. He talked about photos taken of the individuals who harassed the poll workers.
You can see the gun is not exposed. He's got it concealed. Now, if he doesn't have a license for concealment, then he's right there. He's out. That's a violation right there.
A 1-year-old girl is in stable but serious condition at UNC hospitals after the family dog attacked her near Rocky Mount. Sheriff Clee Atkinson of Edgecombe County says a deputy was forced to shoot the dog in order to save the child, and it wasn't easy.
A lot of law enforcement officers would have been hesitant to take that shot, and it's only by the grace of God that we're having a press conference like this because we're looking at inches, but guess what? That's what we're trained to do.
A C-17 military cargo plane from Fort Bragg dropped a Humvee in a Harnett County neighborhood Wednesday afternoon. Nobody was injured. You're listening to NCN News.
The traditional light bulb, a groundbreaking invention in 1879. Other groundbreaking ideas from that time, the whalebone corset, the pedal-operated submarine, and the 2-story outhouse. We've come a long way since then. It's time our light bulbs did the same. Visit EnergySavers.gov and learn about energy-saving light bulbs. See, these new bulbs are more efficient than the old ones, like a text message is more efficient than a carrier pigeon. They last longer, too, like how we humans last longer now that doctors use antibiotics instead of leeches. And they cut down on our energy costs, because in our own groundbreaking age of aeroplanes and moving pictures, we deserve a light bulb that saves us some cash. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Amid questions about the death of Saudi journalist and Kingdom critic Jamal Khashoggi, the White House may find out more today.
I'm Gary Nunn. CIA Director Gina Haspel is said to have listened to audio purportedly capturing the questioning and killing of the Saudi journalist and columnist. The Washington Post reports Haspel heard the recording during a previously secret visit to Turkey last week. A person familiar with the audio calls it compelling, adding that it could put more pressure on the U.S. to hold Saudi Arabia accountable for Jamal Khashoggi's death. Haspel is scheduled to brief the president today. Gary Nunn, CBS News.
A Greenville club Pitt County officials described as a haven for criminal activity has been permanently shut down. The SBI says Club Flavas can no longer be used as a club or similar gathering place. Pitt County Sheriff Neil Elks tells WNCT News.
Drugs, we've had murders there, a lot of violence, a lot of gang activity, a lot of underage drinking, a lot of illegal sale of drugs, alcohol, parties for a lot of underage people.
North Carolina has finally obtained official federal government approval to shift the state's Medicaid program to a managed care system. The State Department of Health and Human Services says it received Wednesday a waiver from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services to move away from the traditional fee-for-service program used for decades. Britain's data watchdog finds Facebook for what it calls a serious breach of law.
Facebook has been fined more than $600,000 by Britain's data watchdog for allowing private information about users and their friends to be accessed. This led to the Cambridge Analytica scandal in which millions of U.S. voters were targeted during the 2016 presidential campaign. Data Chief Elizabeth Denham.
People weren't aware that their data was being harvested, passed on to a political consultancy, and used in this way.
Larry Miller, CBS News, London.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Your local weather forecast is brought to you by Sunbelt Service Pros. For professional service, call 910-944-2044. Anytime, day or night.
We're starting off with dry weather and cold weather this morning. Through the day, it stays dry, but we see clouds on the increase. The high temperature in the mid-50s to low 60s. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, dry, the low in the upper 30s to mid-40s. Friday, have the umbrellas ready. Rain develops in the morning, but it's more likely for the afternoon and evening commute. Some of the rain can be heavy at times. It's breezy and cool. The high temperature on Friday in the 40s to low 50s. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Right now, sunshine at 35 degrees, humidity 100%, dew point 35, pressure is 30-24. Winds calm, visibility is at 10 statute miles. It is 8:14. Let's check your Sand Hills news for this Thursday morning. Housing prices have continued to inch upwards this year and are selling faster, with more counties' real estate market on a consistent upward trajectory. The absorption rate was 4.87 months in September. That is an important figure to understand how the market is moving, because it means if no more properties entered the market, it would take 4.87 months to sell the current inventory at the current rate. This is the lowest it's been in 12 months, probably the lowest it's been in a few years, according to Michael Harrell, board president of the Mid-Carolina Regional Association of Realtors. By comparison, the absorption rate in September of 2017 was 6.38. So in the last year, the rate has dropped 24%. But that's the only metric showing. The super hot housing market. The sold-to-list ratio is also trending at the highest level in the year at 96.1%, and the average days on the market for 2018 was 134 days. And that is one of the lowest rates in the last 12 months. Only July and August were lower. In addition, the sold data is up 10.2% this year versus last year. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. It is 8:16.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. RBI leader J.D. Martinez broke a fifth-inning tie in another two-out rally for Boston that led the Red Sox to a 4-2 victory over the Dodgers and a 2-0 lead in the World Series. Martinez said he was aggressive at the plate when he hit his two-run single.
Trust your eyes, and if it's a ball, but don't go up there being passive. And it wasn't a bad pitch. It was, a good pitch. I was just fortunate enough to, stay inside of it and dump it in, really.
The series resumes with Game 3 Friday in Los Angeles. 3 insiders from the world of college basketball recruiting convicted in a corruption case that prosecutors said exposed the sport's underbelly. The verdict coming down Friday in New York.
Former Adidas executive James Gatto, business manager Christian Dawkins, and amateur league director Merle Code were all found guilty of fraud. The trial centered on whether the men's admitted efforts to channel secret payments to the families of top recruits lured restoring them to major basketball programs sponsored by Adidas was criminal. Prosecutors said the defendants committed fraud by concealing the payments that violated NCAA rules. Julie Walker, New York.
ACC head coaches were all asked at Media Day yesterday in Charlotte what the trial means for the sport. UNC head coach Roy Williams said the world of paying recruits isn't one that he knows, but it's one that he doesn't want to be indifferent to.
There's a difference between being indifferent or having a lack of knowledge, and my problem is I have a lack of knowledge about those things. I'm not very indifferent about it at all. I think that there's some major problems, some problems that need to be worked out.
Mike Krzyzewski said the guilty verdict is good news, that the wrongdoers should be held accountable for wrongdoing. NC State head coach Kevin Keatts was a bit more reluctant. He didn't really want to talk about the specifics since NC State, though not his staff, was involved in the trial itself. What they did all agree on, though, was that the game will survive. This is NCN Sports.
Continental Tire presents our annual Big Tailgate Tour.
Coming in November, it's Florida State at NC State, followed by in-state rivalries left and right with Wake Forest at NC State, followed by Carolina's trip to Duke, then the Aggie Eagle Classic in Durham, and NC State's trip to face Carolina in Chapel Hill.
Pick up free koozies, t-shirts, and more from Sport Clips. Lose it and lose it and Continental Tire. Remember to drive with care on your Continental tires and experience the ultimate MVP haircut at Sport Clips.
Tailgate with us, BigTailgateTour.com.
Hurricane Florence disrupted the lives of many North Carolinians, and with Election Day approaching, we want to make sure those affected understand their options for voting. You can register and vote during the early voting period, October 17th through November 3rd, or you can vote on Election Day, November 6th. You may also request your ballot by mail. Know your options so your voice is heard this fall. Learn more details at ncsbe.gov/Florence. Sponsored by the North Carolina State Board of Elections and Ethics Enforcement.
The Chicago Bulls earning their first victory of the young NBA season, 112-110 over the Hornets. The same two teams back at it Friday night in Charlotte on the back end of a home-and-home series. Golden State Warriors ripped Washington 144-122. Steph Curry had the hot hand last night, scoring 51 in just 3 quarters.
It's special. I mean, that's the end of the third quarter when you hear the crowd going crazy. I love playing in front of our fans, and, you know, this year is going to be amazing every time we get to suit up here, so... You know, it's just one game, but I had a, amazing night.
On the ice, Toronto knocked off the Jets 4-2 in Winnipeg. Tampa Bay shut out the Avs in Colorado. Vancouver 3-2 winners at Las Vegas. And Florida pulled out a 3-2 win over the Islanders in overtime. All the road teams victorious. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Hi, I'm Mary Ann Manning. This year, Moore County voters have a refreshing choice in the sheriff's race, unaffiliated candidate Steve Adams. Instead of continuing the spend, spend, spend trend that seems to be the norm these days, Steve, who is a businessman, wants to make the sheriff's office more efficient. He's talking about ways to cut spending, ways to increase revenue without raising our taxes, ways to reduce the time those charged with crimes spend behind bars awaiting trial, thus reducing the cost of their room and board, ways to turn our empty jail cells into spaces that generate revenue. Steve has outlined many innovative plans to streamline the sheriff's office that would make the department profitable for the county while paying our hardworking deputies a good salary that will reduce turnover and reward them for their selfless service in this dangerous job. And he's pledged to do all that he can to lower the county crime rate by targeting the root cause, illegal drugs. As he reports the news at WEEB, Steve exemplifies integrity. He's proven over and over again that he is committed to seeking out and reporting the truth. It hasn't always meant he's popular with everyone, but he hasn't caved to pressure. We need this dogged determination in the office of the sheriff. And speaking of dogged determination, I like Steve's plan for our animal shelter. He's pledged a no-kill facility where all the abandoned and unwanted animals who find themselves in our county-run shelter are placed in good homes. He'll put our inmates to work training animals before they are adopted. A win-win for everybody. Finally, let me say that I'm privileged to know Steve Adams. He's honest, hardworking, intelligent, and unafraid to seek and speak the truth. I know he'll bring all these honorable qualities to the office of the sheriff. It seems to me that all of us, the taxpayers, the county, the staff, and even the accused, will benefit from Steve's plan. So please join me in voting for Steve Adams for Moore County Sheriff.
Find out about Steve's plan at adamsforsheriff.com. That's adamsforsheriff.com. Paid for by Adams for Sheriff.
Give your home a
fresh, new look just in time for the holidays with beautiful new flooring from JB Short Carpet One. Save up to 50% on select Lee's carpet during the National Lee's Flooring Sale featuring Relax, It's Lee's, the only carpet with a 25-year no-exclusion stain warranty. Also save on wide plank hardwood, classic tile, waterproof luxury vinyl, and more, all with special financing. But hurry, this sale won't last long. Only at JB Short Carpet One, Highway 1 North between Southern Pines and Bass, or on the web at shortcarpet1.com.
Hey Sandhills, it's Anthony from Champion Car Wash and Detail Shop. We've been getting a lot of requests for information this summer, and I'm proud to announce that we've launched our new website where you can find details about all the services we offer, how to get in touch with us, hours, and where we're located. Visit us at www.championnc.com. That's www.championnc.com. While you're there, take a look at the photo gallery of incredible cars that we're trusted to care for on a daily basis. That's Champion Car Wash and Detail Shop in downtown Southern Pines near the corner of Morganton and Broad.
I'm an official sounding scientist, and I'm here for a comfort experiment. We're going to recreate the way your home heating system works in your car. Crank up your heat. Blast it at your face. Starting to break a sweat? This is central heating. A Mitsubishi Electric Zone comfort solution with hyperheating allows you to get just the right amount of heat exactly where you need it. Fast. No cold drafts. It's comfort made personal. This concludes our little comfort experiment.
Four Seasons Heating and Air, the company that wants you to get comfortable with them. Voted Best of the Pines for 2018.
Carolina Air, comfort and safety, because we care. Clean, professional heating and cooling. Carolina Air, the friendly guys. Service, installation, and regular maintenance. Unbeatable, dependable, every time. So CarolinaAir.com. Carolina Air, comfort and safety, because we care.
In addition to traditional HVAC services, Carolina Air in Carthage is a leader in smart home technology. Carolina Air has been selected by Google Nest to be one of 4 dealers in the state to be a Nest Pro Elite installer. Go to YouTube and enter Google/Nest and see the newest technology in thermostats, alarm systems, video doorbells, and other products. Only at Carolina Air on 15501 in Carthage. Call 910-984-2232. 910-984-2232.
Neck, shoulder, or back pain can be downright debilitating. If you have those issues, you already know that, and you don't need me to tell you about the opioid crisis. There's another, better way. I'm talking about chiropractic, a healing art that's also science. Dr. Sharon Wright of Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes invites you to come in for a discussion about how chiropractic works and could work for you. To be sure, there are many of you out there that have reached the proverbial dead end trying to treat and manage your pain.
This is Dr. Wright. I can't guarantee I can fix every problem, but I will tell you honestly whether chiropractic can be of help for your particular issue. Living with pain is not always the only option. Doesn't it make sense to explore every avenue before resigning yourself to the limitations of pain? Call our office today to schedule a consultation and start living again. 673-2225.
Entertaining for Thanksgiving? Honey Baked Ham and Cafe in Aberdeen is the place to start. Fully cooked turkeys come in 2 flavors, smoke or roasted, and hams are bone-in or boneless. Honey Baked Ham is open 10 to 6 Monday through Saturday at 15501 in the Best Buy Shopping Center. Stop in to order your turkey or ham and stay for lunch, served all day, every day at the cafe. Or call in your order at 910-246-1830, 246-1830.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. I was getting a haircut 2 days ago and was doing what all men do when they get a haircut. I was solving the problems of the world with my barber. When women get their hair done, they gossip. Men don't do that. We discuss the shortcomings of others, but only so we can help make them better people. At one point I said, now when you get done today, you need to go vote. My barber turned off the clippers, came around and looked at me in the eye and said, JD, he calls me JD, he said, JD, just how in the world am I supposed to know who to vote for in the county and state election? He said, I read the paper faithfully. I watch the news. I listen to all the political ads. I read the mailers I get, but still, I don't know who to believe. They all say something different about each other. Now, my barber works hard. He's a good man. He does his best to stay up with things. But he pointed out a hard truth. How is he to know? Not everyone has the time to go to all the different meetings. Yes, he could vote straight ticket, and depending on what party he chose, he might be right. But what about the judge races and the school board races? To me, the choices are clear. But for people who may not be as involved or have as much time, what do they do? Well, good news. Help is on the way, and I'll be introducing it in coming weeks. Keep listening to the Zumwalt Zone.
We're watching an area of low pressure that's moving through the lower Mississippi Valley today. It's remnant rainfall with Willa. It gets here for the day Friday. It's going to be quite wet. It's going to be quite chilly. Today, though, we see increasing clouds, becoming mostly cloudy this afternoon. The high in the mid-50s to low 60s. Tonight is mostly cloudy, chilly with the low in the upper 30s to mid-40s. Tomorrow is cloudy. Rain will develop in the morning, but be more with us during the afternoon and evening. The high in the upper 40s to low 50s. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Everyone gather round.
What day is it?
Well, let's see. It's Thursday, right?
Oh, it's only the best day of the year.
Just a regular Thursday. Oh, come on. It's Thursday.
Hey, what?
Who wants to put on a show?
I've got a real problem with the direction our show is going. We think our show is just getting good. Wrong again.
So let's turn it up a notch.
The party is just getting started. I'm listening. Let's go. It's time to hit it.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the Leader Man's Hail sidekick. Good morning.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link that you click that will get you there. If you're on a mobile device, YouTube will be necessary. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man in there, and it'll get results to the top of your list. If you're on your mobile device needing just our crystal clear digital audio stream, well, that's available through YouTube. TuneIn, iTunes, Streama, and other platforms. You put WEEB into that search, and of course it's always available to you off of our website. Upper right hand corner of every page, there's an icon that says listen live at talk973.com. Click on that once and you're listening just that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills is going to be decent today. Tomorrow's going to be pretty much a wash before the rain stops, and Saturday will be cloudy, and Sunday we'll go back to a little sunshine. Partly cloudy today, 59 for a high. Clouds move in heavily tonight, low of 45. Rain starts in tomorrow morning. It'll be cloudy with rain, high of 51, one of those cold, wet rains. Tomorrow night, cloudy with rain, possibly low of 46. And then Saturday, rain is pulled out of here, and we'll go back to mostly cloudy with a high of 61. 66 Sunday, 64 Monday, Tuesday, 62, 65 Wednesday. Right now around the Sandhills, winds are calm, visibility 10 statute miles, pressure 30-24, dew point 35, humidity maxed at 100%, sunny and 35 degrees still here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 8:31 past the hour on this Thursday morning. Let's see here. I can get rid of that. All right. Couple of things you need to know, it being the season and everything. And one of the things is what's appropriate to wear. Someone posted on a list online of Halloween rules I think everyone should know. Do you think these five should be hard and fast rules, or do some of them just take all the fun out of Halloween? First rule is don't guess what someone's costume is unless you know what it is. You might offend them, and we wouldn't want to do that. Do you think these, anyway, so if you're not sure, just ask, especially with kids. Otherwise, you might have to offer up your safe room for them. Don't bring bloody decorations into the office. If you decorate your desk, try to keep it fairly PG. Not everyone likes gore. Don't wear offensive costumes. Even if it's a joke, it's risky. Good Housekeeping recently posted the list of 15 costumes that you should avoid. Let's see if this link works on that. Yeah. The Holocaust victim, anything involving blackface, transphobic costumes, a refugee. What else? Cultural stereotypes, terrorists, zombie version of recently deceased celebrities, an eating disorder, animal cruelty, O.J. Simpson, a mentally ill person, sexual harassment, a homeless person, and a national tragedy.
Okay.
Pretty obvious stuff there.
Alternatively, make your own decisions. Pretty obvious? I don't think most of that's not obvious. Most of it's just baloney PC.
Don't wear, we did that. Remember, nothing is private anymore, so if you do go with an offensive costume, you can't act shocked when someone posts it on Facebook. And teach your kids to be polite trick-or-treaters. Make sure they say thank you every time, even if it's candy they don't particularly like.
Yes.
Yeah, good manners are never out of style.
Good manners speak to better parents, too.
Yeah, they do. I had a guy who, it was a type of name that could have been a girl or a guy. I don't know which it is.
Pat.
No, it's like...
just go with Pat.
Tristan.
Tristan?
I think it was.
That would be a he.
Well, I've seen female Tristans.
Oh, yeah?
Anyway, regardless...
You sure they were female?
I could tell they were well-parented. They wrote a question to me about a bunch of sheriff questions. They were doing a project, and he had to interview someone, and he chose the sheriff candidate. And he sent in questions, then he sent in follow-up questions. My gosh, the next David Brinkley here. And they were well thought out questions, and I gave them well thought out answers. But where the real manners came in was, without delay, the very next day in the mail, I got a thank you card for doing the interview with him via email.
That's nice.
Yeah. I said, somebody has some upbringing.
Yeah.
There is hope.
I was over in the Walmart parking lot, and I don't remember what it was. Some little kid, I'd say maybe 4 or 5. I think I did a little magic trick or something and then gave him the nickel afterwards, and he said thank you. And the little tiny guy saying thank you is unusual. So,
yep. There are kids with manners, and it... Anyway, just a pleasure to work with him. And like I said, I was shocked at the sentence structure. You know, he wrote like an adult. Now, he may have had some help. I don't know. If he didn't, he's a very, very bright kid. But it was well done. Rim shots. Kendall Jenner appears on the cover of Vogue with an afro. Probably not cool. In response, Colin Kaepernick appears on the cover of Sports Illustrated with no discernible talent. So I guess that's what they both are. People with no discernible talent.
Yeah.
It's been 20 years since Britney Spears released Baby One More Time. Does it seem that long? It's true what they say. Time flies when you're supporting a deadbeat ex-husband, I guess. Amy Schumer thinks Maroon 5 should pull out of the Super Bowl halftime show. Join the club, replied people with decent taste in music.
Oh, you just offended a whole bunch of people out there.
I couldn't name you a Maroon 5 song if I had to.
That seems to
So
me
how
to
can I
play one.
offend them when I don't know who they are? President Trump signed a bill yesterday to curb the opioids crisis. By the way, we got Congressman Richard Hudson coming on tomorrow morning at 8:30 to talk about that bill, because he was there at the Rose Garden signing yesterday of that. Unfortunately, it was only after he signed it that he was informed it was too late to bring Roseanne Connor back, so not in time. Amish people aren't required to get Social Security numbers, which means that to steal their identity, all you need is a bad haircut, a beard, and a straw hat.
Nobody is required to get a Social Security number.
A city in Michigan banned clown costumes for Halloween, but do not worry. If you still want to be scared, there's always everything else in Michigan to get you. Many police dogs now have body cams, although for privacy's sake they can disable them whenever they need to lick themselves, just saying. The Massachusetts Institute of Technology tops the list of the best colleges for your money. Of course, MIT also tops the list of the best colleges for maintaining your virginity. A survey found that the number one thing we'd miss if we travel back in time would be a toilet that flushes. Miss, you mean they have those now? Replied half of West Virginia.
Making fun of the South again.
I'm a Southerner. I'm allowed to.
Whatever.
It would be offensive if you did.
It's highly offensive that you have done that.
A new survey found that 18% of us have tasted pet food. And the top takeaway from those people, not great, but still way better than Applebee's. There you go. Those are your rim shots for today. Okay. It is,
Applebee's is pretty good. We don't have
well,
one
obviously
here
the
anymore.
one around here wasn't, because they closed.
Yeah, they did.
Not enough people found it good.
The closest one is up in Sanford now. Not a real broad menu, but what they've got was pretty good.
All right. What was I going to say? 8:39. Let's go hunt us down some bad guys, shall we? Well, that was stupid, Steve. You hit the X and knocked it off your screen. Hit the play button.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the gold.
All right, my friends, it's time once again. Drawing a big breath of air and strut across the floor like we own it in the style of the dude, John Wayne. Open up our closet doors, look at all 30 of our Liberty safes. And today we're going to go to Liberty safe number 12.
Number 12, well, that's a presidential. That's one of the big ones.
All right, we'll open that bad boy up. And reach in.
Sound effects.
Yeah, open her up and let Matt pick out the weapon of choice this morning.
All right, we're going to go big today, Steve. This is a Taurus Tracker 627. It's a double-action revolver chambered in .357 Magnum with a 6.5-inch barrel.
All right, big barrel, so it's a horizontal holster for that one.
You can go hunting.
I mean, a vertical holster.
You go hunting with that guy.
All right, we'll strap it on, pin on our badge, grab 5 cans of some super whoop ass as we now head out the door in relentless pursuit of some stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number 1, there might not be any more drifters. It might not, I gotta need my glasses. There might not be any more dirtier than this. There's a 79-year-old doctor named Sue Ellen Lee in Columbia, Tennessee, and she had to go in front of the Tennessee Board of Medical Examiners last month over a crazy case. Apparently, she borrowed $300,000 from an elderly patient who'd been identified as EW. And then when EW asked her to pay it back, Lee diagnosed her with dementia. That meant EW couldn't control her account anymore. So it looks like Lee figured it out, and it would help her hide her debt. But EW got another doctor to diagnose her, and that doctor found no signs of dementia. So she filed a complaint against Lee. Lee denied it. Well, some of it. She admitted she borrowed the money and made the dementia diagnosis, but she says EW made up the rest, quote, because she was so angry with me because I had said that she was demented.
Oh, Sue Ann.
But she still wound up turning over her medical license and agreeing to a fine to pay back the loan in installments, and now it's possible that the police could get involved. Not so bright now, are we? All right, who has the dementia? I'd say the doctor.
Got an ethics vacancy.
Stupid criminal news number 2. When you crash a wedding, the whole point is to try to smoothly fit in. Drink some free booze. Maybe seduce the bridesmaid or groomsman, and then get the heck out of there. Or you could do the exact opposite, I guess. A 33-year-old guy named Patrick McAllister and a 34-year-old named Joshua Willard crashed the wedding reception in Duden, Florida on Saturday night. It was at a place called the House of Beer. So maybe they thought everyone would be too drunk to notice. Anyway, people immediately recognized that they were crashing and told them to leave. But when they refused to go, they got into fights with someone of the people there, and one of them even threatened the bride. They were both arrested for disorderly conduct. And that, my friends, is your stupid criminal news for this Thursday. I guess you can blame the movie for that one. What was it? Wedding Crashers?
Wedding Crashers.
Which wasn't a good movie anyway, but...
No, it wasn't. And it sounds like these guys had been, maybe imbibing before they started.
All right. Well, we'll, I guess, learn something. I thought I killed that. All right, let's play game number 2, shall we?
And now it's time for...
Random facts.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, a random fact for today. It may be a spare. The person who's mentioned most often in the Quran is...
Allah.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Less than 2/3 of the people in the U.S. with law degrees are actually working as lawyers.
Less than 2%?
Less than 2/3.
So 2/3.
Wow, that's a lot of people. Ernest Hemingway had 52 cats and 16 dogs. Donuts only made up, I bet he had a heck of a vet bill too. Donuts only make up 10% of Dunkin' Donuts revenue. The bulk of their money comes from coffee, which is why they're shortening their name to just Dunkin' in January. And Haagen-Dazs was started by a couple in the Bronx. They made up the name using nonsense words that sounded foreign. But they sued another ice cream company called Frugengladen in 1980 for using a foreign-sounding name. Except Frugengladen, I don't know if I'm saying that right, means frozen delight in Swedish. So Haagen-Dazs lost. In other words, their name made sense.
You didn't say it right.
I'm sure I did. All right, and that's your random facts for today.
That was interesting. Haagen-Dazs. They even use the little umlaut stuff on that. Sneaky little bastards.
The umlaut. Or is it umlaut?
I think it's umlaut, but I wouldn't go to court.
Well, my German teacher was wrong. He told me it was umlaut. Yeah. Then all my German learning was wasted time.
Yeah. We're not saying the same thing?
I can still count German. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
That's as far as I go.
Wiener Schnitzel has nothing to do with a hot dog. So there.
Well, how ambitious are you? Do you have life goals? Must be strange waking up in the morning with no life goals to achieve for the day.
I'm not going to have world peace, man.
According to a new survey, 40% of the people say they don't have any life goals. It's not clear if that's because they've already achieved all their goals or they're just kind of cool with life exactly as it is. 37% of the people say they do have life goals, but they're pretty relaxed about whether they hit them or not. And 18% have goals, and they're anxious about not making them. I guess that's why we have all the anxiety pills out there. What do you think? Things we need to know today so we do not sound stupid. In Oakland Park, Michigan, they have banned kids from dressing up as clowns for the city's Halloween party.
Yes, that brilliant move.
Dorsa Riley passed away this week at the age of 92. Now you say, who is she?
I was going to ask you who she is.
Well, she was credited with inventing the green bean casserole.
No kidding.
So your recipe there is hers.
Not
wonder if she
anymore.
got any revenue from that. Megyn Kelly apologizing for her question when she asked, what is racist about dressing up in blackface for Halloween? Well, that question's probably going to be the $20 million question to her because they're talking about canning her next week. A study says breathing through the nose can help people's memory.
Where were we? Yeah, we're going to suspend early so we can start breathing.
The first Twilight movie is turning 10 next month. The longest sea bridge in the world linking Hong Kong to the mainland China opened to traffic yesterday. It's 34 miles long, took 9 years to build.
Wow.
Always that way. And McDonald's is introducing some new breakfast sandwiches next week to hopefully lure you back in. Triple breakfast stack will hit menus on November 1. They're modified versions of the Egg McMuffin, and they will include 2 slices of American cheese, 2 sausage patties, bacon, and an egg. Sandwiches are available on McDonald's on a McMuffin, biscuit, or a McGriddle. It's their first new breakfast sandwich in 5 years. Today's impossible question. 14% of dogs have chewed on these and ruined them. What are they? And it's not shoes.
14%?
Yes.
14%. Computers?
No.
Phones? Well, phone's a computer.
Looked at it and I can't even remember the answer.
You better start breathing through your nose more.
No.
You mouth breather, you.
Now it comes back to me. Eyeglasses.
Eyeglasses. Man, there's some expensive eyeglasses out there, too. That would torque someone.
Yeah, when you get them from the doctor off the wall, they're like, you just want the cheap ones. Well, they start at $200 here and work their way up. That's before the lenses. Right? What do you pay?
I don't know. My wife actually paid for them.
Wasn't that nice of her?
Well, I mean, I paid for them. She did the transaction.
Well, you can get junky ones, but if you want ones that actually will last and stay on your face and look decent, then it's kind of like art or jewelry.
Well, it is, but there's also function. These are not cheap glasses, but they they're flexible and very light. So
it's pretty neat when you can see the ones that they tie them in a knot and they don't break.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pay for technology. So.
Apparently, when you fall in love, you'll lose 2 of these. What is it?
IQ points.
No, and it's not the gonads either.
I was going to say, that'd be my second guess. You'll lose 2 of these. Friends.
That's right, friends. The average U.S. 7th grader will never use one of these. I doubt you may have. I don't know.
7th grader?
Yeah.
A slide rule. Slide rules were all the rage when I was a kid in school. I mean, not in my school.
The answer is
in China or somewhere, Japan, but.
Well, it's something that was formerly used in radio. We had them here. We got a nice one out there in the storage shed as I speak. Needs a fan belt on it, but.
Computer.
No, tape recorder.
Tape recorder. Yeah, I used a lot of those.
22% of college students, their parents, I should say, 22% of college students say their parents are the reason that this ended.
A relationship.
That's right, the last relationship. Over 175 million Girl Scout cookies were sold in the U.S. each year. In a recent survey, women said that they wish that their man would learn this when he was living with his mother.
How to do laundry.
Better table manners.
Okay.
People lose this more on a Monday than any other day.
Lose this. Their phones.
These. Keys. According to a recent survey of women, they say this is the most annoying thing about their husband.
That he does not breathe through his nose.
Not so he can snore more effectively. Isn't it the nose that causes the snoring?
Yeah. No, it's the soft palate in the mouth.
Yeah, you can do it either way.
The most annoying thing, I don't know.
This is going to be kind of shocking. You're going to say, well, then why'd you marry me? If it annoys you.
The way he talks, the way he sounds.
Getting close.
The way he looks?
No.
His breath?
No.
His mother?
No,
I don't know, Steve. I give up.
His laugh.
His laugh.
I don't get it. If
well,
you
not
can't stand his laugh, why are you marrying the guy?
Not everyone can be as melodious as you and I, sir.
All right, well, let's see how much you've been paying attention to. Well, let's do this first. We never get to this. Our slogans on and off. These are classic slogans that corporations have paid tens of millions of dollars to grind into your head, and we'll see if they did. Then we'll tell you more modern slogans and see how well they're working.
What era?
Well, they're all over the place.
I can't work under these conditions, Steve.
The first one's easy. They're great.
Frosted Flakes.
What brand?
Kellogg's.
That's right. Think different.
Think different. Logitech.
You should be slapped. Now give him the full buzzer, Snardly. Go ahead. There you go. Apple.
Apple.
You Apple phone freak, you. Nothing sucks like a blank. It's a product.
You got me. A Hoover.
Close. Electrolux. Snap into a blank blank.
Snap into a Kit Kat.
Slim Jim. And Hooray Beer. I've never heard of this beer. Red Stripe. So I won't hold you to that one. All right, here are the more modern ones. Let's see how well they're doing it. Empowering us all.
I don't know.
Microsoft. Do it right.
Do it right. Do it Walmart.
Ally Bank. Watch like a fan.
Watch like a fan, ESPN.
YouTube. Still a base, still a taco.
Still a what?
Still a base, still a taco.
Still a base, steel maybe?
Still a base.
Steel.
Bitch slap you all the way back to the
I thought it was
Coast,
still
man.
a base, still a taco. I didn't know steal a base, steal a taco.
Steel.
Taco Bell.
I'm a Westerner. It's steel. No, it's Taco Bell.
That's what I said.
And you get the buzzer for being insulting.
I said Taco Bell.
Handing off big savings to you.
Handing off big savings to you, Walmart.
George Soros. Progressive Insurance. Isn't that his insurance company?
I don't think so.
When he bought a lot of stock in? Anyway.
No, it wasn't Soros. Somebody else. But he sold that.
Don't forget, of course, Pinecrest plays tonight over Jack Britt in Fayetteville. So we'll have that game for you beginning at 6:30 with the pregame, 7 o'clock for the kickoff if you're coming to the game, so you're not late. And we'll have it for you for the 50th year in a row because we are your flagship station for Pinecrest Sports. Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And so it goes for this Thursday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9 for a TSIF. Thanks, Steve. It's Friday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways because they're the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money stays here, rolls over, and creates jobs. So don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and the Leader Man and Nick and Colt the Dog will all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the dog park.
And I'm Matt Horsey with a quote from Vince Lombardi. Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. Stay tuned for the Chris Plant Show, followed by Rush Limbaugh at noon. Sean Hannity comes on at 3, and Mark Levin is at 6. Join the conversation and like us at facebook.com/WEEB990. And we'll be back tomorrow for Mornings with the Leader Man.